Ladies and gentlemen, in this video, I'm going to break down exactly how we took one of the Shopify brands we're working with from 300K a month to over 600K a month whilst increasing their ROAS in under 4 months. Now, my name is George. I'm the CEO and founder here at the Paid Search Company. We help e-com brands scale with Google and YouTube ads. And yeah, let's jump into this video. By the way, this isn't some huge big pitch. I'm genuinely just going to break down the exact ad strategy that we use to get them here. Now, Shopify brands, as you probably well know, if you are a brand owner, are one of the most scalable business models out there. So when you get the right strategy in place, whether it's ads or organic, and things just click, your sales can absolutely skyrocket. And that is so key in 2024 when the competition is higher than ever. So as you can see here, I'm in the Triple Whale dashboard for this client. We took them from 300K a month in September, which is when we came in. They weren't super happy with their results that we're getting. And in December, so kind of 4 months, we're already doing over 600K in revenue, 660K in blended sales there at a higher ROAS, 2.28x, which for this client is fantastic. Their margins are super high. They are all for it, okay? Let's jump into the strategy that we used to take them here. Cool, so I've got my trusty pen here. Let me break down how we took them from 300K a month to 600K a month so quickly. Now, this is the product. I'm not gonna reveal the brand name, but they essentially sell an outdoor, waterproof, kind of durable smartwatch for working men, which means the AOV is pretty high. It's around 120 USD. Now, AOV, which is your average order value, is one of the most important markers to look at in the paid ad space. The higher your AOV, more or less the higher your ROAS is going to be, because there's a greater margin between the CPA and revenue per product. And so we want to boost AOV in any way that we can, right? Now, you can do that by directly increasing the price of your products or by introducing things like upsells or cross-sells, right? Now, upsells really going to be what increases your AOV, and you can do that pre-checkout or post-checkout, right? So they add something to their cart, you can have a pop-up which comes up. There's multiple Shopify apps for this that kind of says, hey, this would look great in your cart as well. But really the killer, in my opinion, is post-purchase upsells, right? They've just purchased something from you, you've got their card details, you've got their email, and so they can do a one-click upsell, which adds a complementary product to their order. So for this client, we help them figure out that you can actually add, a watch strap or some other accessory, and that was super, super profitable for them. Now, let's jump into the strategy. So I've already shown you this. This was the transformation from September to December, 300K to 600K. And as I just mentioned, we are the paid search company, right? So we do paid search, not paid social. So we were responsible for the Google Ads side of things, which was, by far the most profitable, right? Over a 3x native ROAS, and Triple Whale is reading over a 2.6x. Now, why is there a difference? Well, Triple Whale kind of takes a bunch of different stuff into account. Google obviously is going to be greedy and say, hey, I'm generating all this, all these sales at a crazy ROAS. So you've got to kind of take both with a pinch of salt. And by the way, the Google Ads dashboard is in Canadian, so that's why it reads a little bit higher than this does. The same time period though. This is USD. Cool. Let's jump into the strategy. Now, you might be looking at this and saying, hey, George, that's not a strategy. That's just a bunch of Google Ads campaigns lumped together. When it comes to paid search, your structure is your strategy, right? The campaigns that you use is your strategy, because the whole goal with paid search is to have a campaign structure which effectively takes your customer through the entire marketing funnel. It takes someone from being a complete stranger who is not aware of maybe even their problem, or at least the solution that your product provides, let alone your brand, to becoming loyal purchasers, repeat purchasers, people who are very brand aware and who love the solution that you provide, right? And Google Ads is able to take a customer through the entire thing. So let's start with the top of funnel. We implemented a YouTube Shorts campaign for this client when we came in September, and it absolutely killed it. YouTube Shorts is one of the most promising marketing channels going into 2024. Google is putting more of its resources behind it. It's got billions and billions of monthly views, yet so few D2C brands are advertising on it. There's a lot of big D2C brands that do the kind of long form style, but they don't do short form. And if you don't know, Google has a huge incentive to show ads that basically are going to look good for the viewer. So they're only going to show short form ads on the Shorts network. And none of these D2C brands are running Shorts, right? So that means that CPCs are super cheap, competition is super low, which means ROAS can be super high. And it's also very, very scalable. And you can literally reuse your TikTok and Facebook creative, okay? So this campaign, while it wasn't spending a lot, produced some really good results, over 3x ROAS and sort of 16K in revenue there. That was the main part of our top of funnel. We've since launched Demand Gen, which is Google's new campaign type. Again, not enough brands are leveraging this correctly. It's essentially a kind of similar to PMax, which we'll get into in a second, but it's a combination campaign type, right? It combines multiple different campaigns or channels rather that Google owns. So it combines YouTube again, so YouTube Shorts, YouTube Shopping, YouTube InFeed. It combines Discovery, and it combines Gmail as well, okay? And so, these are all very visual platforms. You can actually include product feeds in each of these ads, so you can actually see the exact products that, the products come up at the bottom, kind of like shopping ads where you can actually click on them. And so CTR is just super high, and it's a fantastic way to get a complete stranger to understand your products and actually come to your website, right? And that's where we enter the middle of funnel. So now the customer is problem aware, and now we need to allow them to become brand aware, right? They see you as a solution, they see your products, but why should they buy from you, right? So this is where, they're still pretty cold, so they're still searching up generic product terms. So for this client, it would be, smartwatch, outdoor smartwatch, whatever. Potentially they've seen some of your YouTube ads, gone to your website, but not converted. And now they're researching the term smartwatch because they remember that ad they saw. This is where middle of funnel comes in. So predominantly we're using PMax for middle of funnel. If you don't know what Performance Max is, it's another combination campaign type. It combines shopping, search, display, discovery, YouTube, basically all of Google's platforms that it owns into one smart campaign type. And it's very scalable because of that. There's a huge amount of inventory you can see here. Now, why do we have two PMax campaigns? Well, we've segmented them by product type. So you can see this one here only has base model, whereas this one focuses on Pro and Ultra, which are three separate categories of product that my client sells. That's a very good reason to segment, which means to separate your PMax campaigns, right? You can do it based on product. For example, these products have different profit margins. These have much higher profit margins, which is why we are able to be a bit more aggressive than we are here in terms of spend. And this one has slightly lower profit margins. So we've set different targets for them. But you can also split PMax campaigns based on location, based on traffic volume, a bunch of different things. And so when someone searches up, smartwatch, whatever the terms we're serving for, these PMax campaigns are going to show a bunch of ads to them. They're going to do some remarketing as well. And the whole goal is to kind of drive them down to this sale area here. Cool. What else are we doing? Next, we are also doing shopping for middle of funnel, right? Now, shopping is part of PMax, but and also PMax will always outrank standard shopping campaigns in the auction. Google is pushing you to spend on PMax, right? You can see all these limited by budget warnings here. Google is a business. They want you to spend more, and PMax does definitely allow you to spend more. And so whilst shopping doesn't outrank PMax and off drops behind, it's still effective because if PMax misses anything for whatever reason, you're going to have that standard shopping campaign always show up with this catch-all, and you can see it's spending a very low budget there, so it's very sustainable. It also is going to generate you search terms, right? So PMax can't do this; it's a very black box. But on standard shopping, you can just simply click into the campaign, go to keywords, drop down search terms, and you can see the exact search queries people typed into Google, which led to a conversion, which led to a sale, right? So that is the middle of funnel. Also non-branded search as well. So cold search, right? So again, showing search ads for smartwatch, whatever it is, outdoor watch. Again, PMax does this, but same story. Sometimes if there's an exact keyword to search query match, then non-branded search is going to show up above PMax. PMax is more kind of like a broad net. So that's why it's worth having this campaign. Again, not spending a huge amount, but producing some really nice ROAS numbers. Okay, now let's go and kind of look between middle of funnel and bottom of funnel, right? Once a customer comes to your website, where they're going to be added to a bunch of audiences, right? They're going to become website visitors. They may even add your product to the cart, but not convert, right? And then they're going to be abandoned carts. And so when you've got a product that's priced at $120, people aren't necessarily going to buy it on the first time. So that's why we've got to make sure we're doing remarketing to them. And YouTube remarketing is so effective, okay? Facebook retargeting is what people always talk about, but YouTube is just as effective. Again, you can include product feeds. You can use the same YouTube shorts that you were using in your top of funnel campaign, but you can change your ad copy to really call out people who have not purchased yet. Very, very effective. Okay. And on top of that as well, ROAS is super high. It's super, for a remarketing campaign, it's doing super well. Okay, cool. So let's jump down to the bottom of funnel, right? We've kind of remarketed to them, and now they've actually finally converted. Now they are brand aware. They've bought from us, they're aware of us. How do we keep them buying to maximize their LTV and make the LTV divided by CAC equation as profitable as possible? Well, we do that through branded search. Now you might be rolling your eyes and saying, wow, you're spending so much on branded search. They were going to buy our products anyway, right? They love our brand. Not necessarily. In fact, Google is very, very competitor driven, right? Competitors are going to be bidding on your brand name. You might not think they are, but even as a brand doing something like 10K a month, a 6-figure brand, you've probably got competitors bidding on your brand name. And that means they can steal away those loyal customers and take all of that LTV for themselves. So we see this as a defensive campaign, right? And so we run this to defend ourselves from competitors, as well as gather data and maximize LTV so that customers are staying in that bottom of funnel stage for as long as possible. Cool. So I'll end that one there. Super simple. We've got PMAX, we've got non-branded search, we've got YouTube Shorts, shopping. That's kind of all the cold stuff. And then for the warmer side of things, we've got YouTube remarketing and branded search as well. Okay. So hopefully you enjoyed that video. If you did, and you are interested in us implementing a similar Google and YouTube ad strategy to scale your ecom brand, then you can click the link down in the description and book a one-on-one 15-minute call with me. No pressure. I'm just going to demo exactly how our process works. And if it's a good fit, then we can look into working together. And if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, like, and comment, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.